Because usually I believe last year the title did the fucking the stream. So maybe they'll do that, and that'll be dope. That'll be real dope. So I'll keep y'all updated on that. Once I get more information, I'll definitely pass that down to y'all. You know what I'm saying? So that's looking dope. And they got the festival stage 2 with like a Chance the Rapper, Tory Lanez, Post Malone, Currency. Yo, shout out to Dave East, man. That's a guy. Let me tell y'all something, man. The commission, listen to me, y'all. Dave East is one of my favorite artists right now, coming from Harlem. This kid, man, is so impressive. He's been wrecking shit. He's been wrecking shit for so long that he's finally getting his due. So shout out to Dave East, man. I'm definitely happy to see him on that that festival stage. That's a dope thing. I know it's not the stadium stage, but you know what? It's a good look. So I remember last year they didn't let Troy Ave get on there until the last. You know what I'm saying? They didn't let Joey Badass get on at all. So it's a good thing for a New York artist to be up there and have a nice push. So I'm definitely happy to see that, man. But overall, it should be a good show, man. I think there's something for everybody with Summer Jam. So definitely support everybody. So I got a special guest. It's gonna call up here in a few minutes. We're gonna talk about a few things, man. I got a show that's upcoming. It's actually gonna start this Sunday, and it's a show focused on the sport of professional wrestling. Now, anybody who knows me know I'm a huge pro wrestling fan. Since I was a kid, I fell out of it. In my teenage years. But I got back into it, and when I got back into it, it wasn't just like, oh, I like this shit and I'm gonna watch it. Nah, I kind of got in, and I got intrigued by booking and kind of the philosophy behind professional wrestling. So, my co-host Carney Robb will be calling up here in a few minutes, and we're gonna kind of talk about some things, and we're gonna talk a few things pro wrestling. Just kind of give you a sample of what's gonna happen Sunday. Now I don't know the time. I don't know how often it's gonna be. Those are still some details that'll come later on this week. We might just put out a presser, just throwing it out there for y'all, let y'all know what's gonna come. So that'll definitely be something for y'all to look for, and I'm excited for it because I got a lot of guests lined up, man. And with this show too, I mean, the sit down is gonna be mostly me. It's gonna be mostly just my thoughts, my rumblings in my brain. But I believe I know we got a ton of guests for the pro wrestling show. It's called the Squared Circle, just to let y'all know. I have some guests come in to co-host, so we'll alternate co-host here and there. Marquis, which y'all are familiar with my old show, he's gonna be coming back into the fold. Carney Robb, I'm gonna introduce y'all to him in a few moments. And matter of fact, man, speak of the devil, we got Carney Robb with us now. Carney Robb, how are you, man? Rob, I'm good. Welcome to the show, to Sit Down. It's been a crazy week, man. So, I was just talking to the commission, to the fans about everything that's going on in hip-hop. A lot of craziness going on. But now it's pro wrestling talk, man. It's pro wrestling talk. First and foremost, man, introduce yourself. Let the people know who you are, what you do, and your background in professional wrestling. Ain't that the fucking truth? Right. That's true though. It's not a work. That's true stills. Eric Bischoff. Yeah, only. Only. Right, right, right.
This great state of New Mexico.
Yeah.
I'm not giving away no spoilers, but I'm saying you never know what can happen. I mean, nobody thought that Eric Bischoff would walk into Albuquerque and just show up one day.
Right.
So you never can say never in this great business.
Well, you can't. You can't. You can't say never.
This great state of New Mexico.
But here's one thing, though. And Carney Rob, we didn't hear the beginning of your intro, but I basically want you to let the people know about your work. You are always trying to fit in where you can get it. Explain that one more time for the people, since we have some audio issue with the phone and the things.
Not a problem. Yeah, exactly. I'm always trying to just make my way into every little, crook and crevice there is. I want not just to be a wrestler, but I want to be in every little storyline I can possibly be into. I've dabbled in creative concepts. I've done dirty work for, the higher ups. I'll basically do whatever I can to get that extra dollar. Like I said, dirty player in the game, the great Nate. Crookedest, sneakiest player in the game.
Yeah.
I got that title.
Yeah. And like I said, ladies and gentlemen, that's no bullshit. That's the real deal. Carney Rob is he's a master manipulator. So, thank you for that, Carney. I appreciate that. And it's a pleasure to have you on the tail end of the sit down. So, just so everybody knows, starting Sunday, it's going to be, I believe, a week to week. Me and Carney got to talk about some contractual obligations and things like that off the air. But ultimately, we are hoping to do this every single week. Do really a recap of professional wrestling. So, that starts Sunday. I'll let everybody know times and all that. But basically, we're going to kind of give you a format of how it's going to run down. So, Carney, Rob,
right.
You still with us?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Good. Don't fucking hang up. Because if you hang up, I won't put you back on air. All right?
Now, I don't know, but I don't think my initials are AJ. I'm pretty reliable, brother.
Woo, shoot, cowboy. All right, so there's a lot of shit going on in professional wrestling. It's been a pretty busy week. I'm going to throw off some topics. I just want to get your thoughts, and I'll chime in afterwards. So, big news coming out this week, WWE. SmackDown is going live starting in July. WWE put out a video with Stephanie McMahon and Shane McMahon pretty much announcing it, right? Talk about drafts and roster splits and creative teams, things like that. What are your thoughts on that? What are your feelings about the SmackDown going live every Tuesday?
Well, first, I think there's two things that can happen here. One, it could be the biggest move that we've seen in professional wrestling in a long time. It could bring viewership back up. It can possibly even bring back some of those older fans that are not so hip to the PG portion of of wrestling, or it could be fall right flat on their face depending on how they go with it.
Mm-hmm.
I've watched and followed wrestling since the late '80s, and I know what Vince's mindset is from what he shows, and his idea of champions and the cookie cutters that he goes through.
Right.
There's a reason why you normally see champions like Roman Reigns. You see champions like John Cena. You see champions like The Rock. And there's reasons why you don't see as many champions like an Eddie Guerrero. You don't see as many champions as, and people may hate this name being thrown out there, but Chris Benoit. They don't fit that mold, and unfortunately those two individuals lost their life early trying to fit that mold, running a little bit too hard, a little too fast, and hitting some stuff they shouldn't be hitting to try to get to what Vince was looking for.
Right.
It could be epic. I mean, if you take it and you split and you move SmackDown and make it more of an international feel, you take these great workers, people who can perform in the rings, and you're looking at people like an AJ Styles, a Sami Zayn, a Finn Balor, a Kevin Owens, people who have that international travel and that international style, the ones that really know the difference, between
Right.
putting on and telling a story in the match rather than going out there and, wearing a Spider-Man symbol and using your finishing move as a super punch. You can make it something great, instead of having it as a WWE title, make it a world title. So you bring in these world renowned travelers, put the Intercontinental title over there. So again, focusing more on, full world type of show. Bring in, they're talking about doing this worldwide cruiserweight division. Open up a cruiserweight belt. We haven't had one in a long time. And, look at some of those little guys. I mean, if you look at Kalisto, great worker, very, very underrated for what he can do in the ring. You get more people like that because there's a lot of them on the indies, and there's a lot of them out.
You know what I think? I think it's going to be a good move for business, because I think fans are going to flock to the arena for a live show. Not that they weren't flocking to, SmackDown taping on Tuesdays, but I think that's going to be a huge thing for them. I know attendance had been a problem for SmackDown. I don't know much recently, but I know maybe even over the past year it's been like that. So I think, number one, that's going to be key. Number two, I think it opens the book a little bit to WWE be a little bit more creative and having some type of internal competition. They already have it with NXT, right? So now you have it with SmackDown on Tuesday. So it's going to be very – I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued to see what they do. I haven't had much faith in the booking or creative, but we'll see what happens. What do you think about Seth Rollins returning? That was pretty big this week.
I think, another great worker, I would like to see him going against a few other cats other than, and don't get me wrong, I got nothing against Roman Reigns, but, if you can't get over as a face, you can't get over as a heel, and that's good guy and bad guy there for people who aren't, savvy of the wrestling talk. But, if you can't get over as either, and you can't get over as a tweener like what Stone Cold was, take him off the heat for a minute. Let him develop.
Right.
You can still run him into the main. You can still, do a semi-main with him and stuff like that. But put the two that everybody wants to see in the ring together. I mean, there's no